Okay, let's go to number 7. Now, number 7 is a very different approach because now you have a series of cash flows. You see these cash flows right here that you expect to receive or have already received. And the question is, what is the value today of these cash flows? There are different ways you can do this, but what I'm going to argue is that we're going to use the NPV formula because it's the easiest and most direct way of finding these cash flows. Okay, so the NPV formula is very useful because it allows us to do everything in one single shot. Okay, now there's just one thing that you have to think about. If you're going to you expect to receive these payments, notice that the $4,000 is going to be received in year 1, right? So this is right here, right? Year 1, the $1,500 in year 2, and $2,000 in year 3. But the $3,000, those $3,000 are going to be received at year 0. So do you discount them? The answer is you don't need to because the $3,000 are already standing in today's, right? Today. So the $3,000 are already there. So you really need only to discount the $4,000 standing at the end of year 1, the $1,500 standing at the end of year 2, and the $2,000 standing at the year 3. Okay. How do you do this very quickly? Here's what I suggest that we do. Let's use the NPV function. So I'm going to leave this alone for now. Leave this empty and let's just find the answer using NPV. Here's what you will have to do. So it's equal to =NPV. Okay, NPV and press of X. And the easy thing is that the NPV just says, just give me the interest rate that I'm going to use to discount these future cash flows, right? So you're going to click on the 10%. And then it says, give me the value. Now, instead of putting value 1 and value 2, it's very easy to just go ahead and just highlight all of the cash flows that you expect to receive. Now, here's the danger of using the NPV function. This is the one thing you have to be careful about, okay? When you highlight the numbers, the NPV function will always assume that the first number that you're highlighting is in year 1, the second number is in year 2, and so on and so forth. So what's the danger of doing this? The danger is that if you're right here and you say, I'm going to highlight my 4 cash flows. What is the problem with this? And it's easy because then you just basically press OK, and that's the answer. 8,526. Nice and easy. The present value today of all these 4 cash flows is 8,526. But what is the problem with doing it this way? Because you highlighted the $3,000 as the first number, what does Excel think? Excel thinks that the $3,000 are located in year 1. Because it always assumes that it's doing present value calculation. That's what's called an net present value formula. So it's incorrect to highlight the $3,000 because it's taking it, what it thinks it's that the $3,000 is in year 1, and so the last amount will be in year 4, which is incorrect. So what is the correct way of handling this issue? Okay, let me do it again now. Okay, equal to NPV. What I'm going to do is say, well, I know which cash flows are future cash flows. Which are those? Okay, let me just. The rate is 10% right here. And my values, what I'm going to do is say, I know which are my future values. They're these. Okay, so Excel is going to take the first $4,000 and assume that it's in year 1. And the second $1,500 and assume it's in year 2, and so on, which is this is correct. Okay, so if you press OK, this is the present value of these future cash flows. But that's not all the money you've got, isn't it? What you've got is not only the present value of these 3 cash flows, which is what you want to know, right? What is the present value of these promised payments? What you also have is the $3,000 that are already standing there. So when you use the NPV function, the only kink it has, the only little thing that it has is that anything that's standing at time 0 must be manually added, right? So I'm just going to double click here. And after doing that work, I just say, oh, by the way, plus the $3,000 that I already have. And that will be your correct answer. You will have 9,000. The money that you already have plus the money that you expect to receive is worth to you today 9,378. I know this looks like an extra step, but imagine how easy it is for just to highlight a bunch of cash flows for the next 15 or 20 years and find the present value in one single shot. So the NPV function is very useful.